And welcome to Gran Turismo 5. We're going to be looking at kind of a test between three different games on how they handle. I'm going to be looking at Gran Turismo 5, the current game, Forza 5, and Forza 6, and want to see how the developers handle the car and even the track over the course. So far, Gran Turismo 5 came out in 2000. Forza 5 came out in 2013, and then Forza 6 came out 2015. So it's wide range. Did the track change? How did the developers handle the track if there was a change? How did they handle the car, which I'll be using in over the three different games? Is the McLaren F1 94, a very prestigious car, very interesting car. Let's look at the stats, so just to show you what is going on here. It's a very popular car, and it's one of the only cars I could find that is actually in Gran Turismo 5 and in Forza 5 and Forza 6. You can always go to Lamborghini, Ferraris, Nissans, but there's some. I haven't tried the Zonda, but the Zonda here in Gran Turismo 5 is different than the one in Forza 5 and Forza 6. So far, the McLaren F1 94 seems to be that is kind of universally the same. So we're looking at 609 horsepower with 467 foot-pounds. The drivetrain is an FMR, length, width, blah, blah, blah. The weight is actually different. So, for some reason, 1,100 kilos is about 2,500 pounds. And when we get to Forza, it's going to be about 2,800 pounds. So, that's stock. We're looking at stock. I have done nothing to the car. I bought the car off the dealership, and then that. So, let's get to testing. We're going to be using the legendary Nurburgring, and not the GP, but the full circuit. I was going to use Daytona, but Daytona is not in Forza 5. And I was thinking about using Indianapolis, but Indianapolis is such a weird track because there's slowdowns and all that stuff. Daytona is good for testing max speed, and then the Nürburgring is good at testing, a complete wide range of things. So we're gonna do one lap. For things, again, I'm gonna be using automatic on both. Sports cars, these are the stock ones. Driving line on. Traction control, the difference between Forza and Gran Turismo, it's an on and off in Forza. It's a slider on Gran Turismo. I'm going to set it at 5. Active steering off. Active stability management. Now this is STM in Forza, so I'll leave that on. ABS, I'll also leave that as 5. That feels like a good middleman. Tire wear, all this stuff will be off. And so let's go. Now again, it's almost a almost 13 mile track. So we're going to do a rolling start. Maybe I'll do 2 laps. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This is a really long track. So let's start her up. Now again, I record at 1080 30, so visually it's going to look a little bit different. I do record at 15 megabits per second, so that's going to help a lot with a lot of other things. But of course, this time around we will be using cockpit, so we can see all the difference, how each developer handles the look of the car. Off. At the top left, you can see where I'm at. Bottom left in the gear should be notable things we should be seeing. Last night I did some runs, and it looked like the Forza 6 version would actually get up higher RPMs faster, get up to speed faster. It was really weird. Another thing would be looking at tire wear. And then speed is another thing. Of course, the major significant factor that is really going to hard to distinguish, and even if they are the same, is the actual controller. How does the controller factor into this? And this is really hard with Gran Turismo and Forza, as they are different from different companies or different publishers, you know, on different platforms. I could use a third-party controller that looks like the Xbox controller, but then again, that's throwing in a variable that can just add that can throw off the thing. So I'm just gonna keep it stock and all that stuff. Keep it on the. I'm gonna play it on the Nurburgring, which is a track that's been around for a long time, and it's a gold standard for testing cars. Though I could also use the Top Gear track because they're in all three, but the Jesus, that track's too small. I'm looking at trying to get the most performance out of this car. You know, there's long straightaways, so I should be able to get max speed. There's all sorts of other stuff too. Lots of turns left and right, so get a wide breadth of what is going on with this. Still, gorgeous looking game. Like I can't believe this is a game from 2010. I mean, it is a little bit weird and all that stuff. With some of the interiors look a little bit weird. Everything's feeling really good and real smooth. Haven't had any problems here. Straight here. It's the biggest debate in these racing games is which one does it better, and it's really hard to do that. Like it's you really can't say that. Nobody can really say this one's better. Gran Turismo tends to have more backing towards the professional racers compared to Forza and Project Cars and even Osseo Corrosa. So there's that. You really can't be really judged like which one's better. It's a game at a point where if you feel one's better at handling stuff like assists or how the cars handle, to your personal opinion, yes, that is a major thing. But again, you've never driven these cars, so how would you know what they act like? How would you know what a McLaren F1 94 handles on Daytona? In Forza, I got it up to 211 for somehow a heavier car, while in Gran Turismo, I got it up to 205, and that's a significant difference for a car that's supposed to be lighter. So I don't know. They looked exactly the same. Shit, I even used the same paint. They actually are priced differently throughout the 3 different games, which is really weird. Gran Turismo, again, is I think like 1.2 million. Forza 5 was 1.5, and I think Forza 6 was 1.1. Big turn. That's a noticeable, sharp hairpin turn. Another track I was thinking about using was the Spa de Franco Champs, which is of course, that's in both. Surprisingly, there's and Laguna Seca, but I hate that race because that dip. I feel like that dip is in the back half of that it's just way too much. Too many variables happen to that. I've taken that turn way too many times, and I think Nurburgring is a really nice, cool, standard racetrack. It's very uniform. It does a lot of good things. Doesn't do anything tricky like that. Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca. That dip is really tricky. It throws people off. Even though I've finally probably spent thousands of hours on racing games and driven on that and all that stuff, it's just still an interesting track that I don't like. Coming up here on the straightaway real soon. We'll see how fast we can get. And then keeping it in automatic, we'll see how the different developers handle automatic and all that stuff. Now there is this extra assist that you turn off in Forza that I will probably keep on, that make it feel a little bit more similar to the experience on Gran Turismo. Their steering model is weird. Oh, come around the bend here and hit that straightaway. We're going to do 2 laps again just to get a nice feel for this. Coming up on the straightaway and see how fast we can get. So in this, the automatic is just shifting right as it hits the red line. Wow, so this car actually has a 6th gear, but it's not shifting into it. It's really weird. Yeah, man, that's really weird. It only got up to, ooh, wow, shit. There we go. It only got up to barely 200. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Go. You know what? I think that's a good, because it's a rolling start. So 747. That's going to be a good lap there for the McLaren F1 94. You know, hitting it doesn't save. Interesting. Hitting the not being able to hit 200, and then not even hitting the 6th gear is very interesting. There it is, right there. It's weird. We can even see. Can we even load? Oh no, it didn't, because it wasn't a bad. It was a bad lap. But join me for the next 2 videos as I look at. Next time I'll look at Forza 5, the McLaren on the Nurburgring. As always, thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.